Hey guys, this is Tauna, and today we're going to be talking about the new Deadpool secret lair. That's right, it got announced, it got released. You can actually go buy it right now if you want. I'll put the link down in the comments for it because this is actually looking like a really fun commander, as well as like represents Deadpool really well. It's really great. I absolutely love this. So the card is Bonkers himself, which we'll get into in a minute. The value in the secret lair is great. There's some amazing reprints in here. And overall, the lair is just very interesting. It's very, very Deadpool. And as I said, I'm really, really happy about this. So this is the card for Deadpool. Deadpool trading card. There is two different meanings to this, obviously, because, it's a trading card. It's a Magic the Gathering card. But also, if you get into his ability. So he's Rakdos, which again makes sense. Legendary creature, mutant mercenary hero. Now the mutant I don't agree with, but that's because of a bunch of different things. Technically, in the comics, he is not a mutant. He is a mutate, similar to like Spider-Man, Hulk, etc. Got turned into a thing rather than being born with the X gene and stuff. However, that goes back and forth depending on what it is. And in like the MCU and stuff like that, he is a mutant, I believe, or at least within the Foxverse he was. So his actual ability is when he enters, you can exchange his text box and another creature's. Now, the wording on that is very important, and pause the video if you want to kind of guess as to why I think that's very important. Are you back with us? All right. It does not say target. There is nowhere on here that says target creature. So he can switch with anything, whether it's got hexproof, shroud, whether it's, it's essentially like choose, how sacrifice doesn't need it to be targeted. This does not need to be targeted. It is just you exchange it with whatever creature is on the board. Now, there's obviously going to be ways to be able to potentially stop that. But I can't think of them at the moment. Because again, it's not targeted. That's just, it's insane. All right. So his actual text box, and this is the text box that you're going to give to someone else, right? They've got their Indominus Rex. They've built up their huge Indominus Rex and stuff. You're just going to go, hey, switchies. At the beginning of each upkeep, you lose 3 life. So again, that's not going to be you. It's going to be whoever's creature you swapped it with. And then they can pay 3 and sacrifice that creature to make each other player draw a card. Now, so that means that at the beginning of their upkeep, they're going to start taking 3 damage each time from their Deadpool. And then they can sacrifice that. It's going to give everyone else a card draw, but they will stop taking that damage. Again, not targeted. Amazing. Yeah, it's just great. There are so many ways to abuse this, and let's go into some of them. After we asked you, please subscribe, please share the video around. We're a small channel here. We're trying to grow up. And I say small channel, but we're the second biggest Magic the Gathering channel in Australia, which I've got huge imposter syndrome, and you guys coming and subscribing and saying how great I am does not make it better, because it just makes me think that somehow I've convinced you to do that. Anyway, so let's go into how we can abuse this. Myriad. Myriad is absolutely bonkers with this, because now we're going to have our one Deadpool, right? We're going to have our one Deadpool that we've switched with something. Then each combat, we're going to create two more Deadpools that are going to come in. But each of these Deadpools is a copy of the original Deadpool, not a copy of the new text that has been given to our Deadpool, because of the way that it works, the layers, Attack on Cardboard's going to yell at me about this, but the layer that switches their text and changes their text is not copyable. Therefore, each one that comes in is going to be a copy of the original one. So now, each one that comes in, you get to switch it with other people's ones. Oh, God, this is going to be absolutely bonkers. So Myriad is going to be bonkers on him. Now, keep in mind that those new ones that come in, you will have to sacrifice them, unless we make the legend rule not matter with Mirror Box or the Master Multiplied, which is just going to be the best way to do this, because now we're going to have our Deadpool army, or Deadpool Corps, Deadpool Corps, and we're just going to make a huge army of Deadpools that are all going to have different abilities, because we're stealing everyone's abilities away. I love it so much. It's so good. Now, keep in mind that with the Myriad, you will still need to sacrifice them, unless you've got the Master Multiplied out to stop you doing that. We've got Conjurer's Closet. We've got our Deadpool out. It's copied something. We can just flicker our Deadpool. Our Deadpool comes back in. We just copy something else. And we're just handing out his ability to everyone like candy. We could make copies of our Deadpool, just straight up copies instead of our myriad copies. Just, sack something just tap Orthian, make a copy, or, discard something with Jaxus, make a copy. It's bonkers. I love it. It's so good. Now, one thing is that some people are going to be pussies. Now, I apologize for that. It's probably not called for. But anyway, some people are going to be, playing Spellslinger decks, and they're not going to have creatures out, right? Or they're going to have had dead creatures out, and then they've sacrificed those creatures, and they've got rid of their Deadpool. So I did a board wipe or something. We need other people to have creatures. So what we're going to do is we're going to hand out creatures with stuff like Haunted Horror or Varchild. Varchild goes and hits someone. They create a whole bunch of survivors. Those survivors can't attack us and they can't block, but those survivors can become Deadpool. Now keep in mind that when we copy our Deadpool across, then our Deadpool will have, he can't block and can't attack us, but still, it gives more creatures to opponents, which is great. We've got Carder and Disrupt Decor. We're giving people a whole bunch of creatures. We're giving people a whole bunch of Deadpool-esque cards, turning their creatures into Deadpools. Why don't we just make it so they all have to attack with them as well? We've got Heartstone and Wound Reflection. So these both synergize really well. Heartstone is going to make it so that opponents are more likely to sacrifice them. If we really need card draw, we can do this. And now, our opponents are going to be able to sacrifice them easier. It's only going to cost them 2 mana now. And then we get card draw from it. Or we could use Wound Reflection here, because keep in mind that anything that doubles damage opponents take will not work. It specifically has to be at the beginning of each end step, not just our end step, because people aren't going to sacrifice this on our end step then. On each end step, and it needs to multiply life loss, not damage, because the Deadpools do not deal damage, they do life loss. So you need to specifically have life loss, which Wound Reflection does. Boom. Boom. Now, they're taking double the amount that they've taken, right? It's just going to be great. So the other cards that are in the lair, obviously, I'm incredibly hyped about Deadpool himself, but the other cards are just amazing too. Deadly Rollick. Oh boy. All right, first of all, we've got Cable down the front. I love it. We've got Deadpool riding the unicorn with a rainbow and butterflies, just incredibly Deadpool. I normally charge for my Merc services, but I just can't say no to someone who controls their commander. Again, just wonderful as well. Like, it's just all great. As well as the fact, this is a $30 card at the moment. It is not going to get a reprint anytime soon, most likely, unless they do like a new Commander Masters or something like that, maybe. But either way, an amazing reprint here. We've got Saw in Half. The only reason Saw in Half is cheaper is because of the fact that it was reprinted within the Bloomburrow Precon. But just a great card. Again, this creates clones, copies. It's really great. The art is amazing. The part down here that says, "Don't try this at home, kids. Magic is super dangerous." That's, dangerous to my wallet because of this secret lair. It's just all great. It's just, oh boy. We've got Blasphemous Act. Again, I talked about previously how many different versions they could do for a Blasphemous Act given Deadpool. This works really well for it. We've got Deadpool on the moon, breathing somehow, eating a chimichanga, killed the Marvel universe again, got the Thanos snap gauntlet. It's just, it's amazing. And then we've got Vandal Blast. So this is obviously calling back to a few different things. Is that I can't think of who that is. Someone tell me who that is. It's some kind of magic character that shows up on some stuff, like OG stuff. We've got Black Lotus here with Deadpool destroying the Dark Lotus. Look at me on Chandra. I love it. It's just, all right. Everything about this is just amazing. The value's amazing. The Deadpool card's amazing. It's actually like the Deadpool card is actually potentially just absolutely cracked and broken, given the fact, again, it does not target. The fact it does not target is insane. But let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys had a wonderful day, and goodbye.